Hello and namaste. I am Harshala and I welcome you to my channel. So in this video I am going to talk about my September TBR, but before that let me give you a gist about what my reading journey has been and what to expect from me on this channel. Firstly, I was an avid reader until 2021. I had one of these Billy bookcases, but due to termite attack we had to throw out all the books, the hardcover books and also the Billy bookcase, because the termite had literally eaten it up. Then we finally got two of these, but I never really had the courage to buy books, physical books. I was reading here and there, but I was not reading enough as much as I would like. Then early this year on YouTube I stumbled upon a BTS fan fiction channel. She writes amazing fan fictions and I want to give shout out to her. Her channel's name is Yungi Saurus. I will share the link in the description box below. If you are an army, do subscribe to her channel. Via her channel I came across Wattpad. I didn't know what Wattpad was. Wattpad is basically a app or a platform where you can read stories and you can also write stories for free, but you can also sell your stories after they reach a certain viewership or readership. So it is an amazing app and the stories are amazing. I will make a video of my favorite Wattpad romance books. Wattpad, not Wattpad. Wattpad romance books which I have read. So I am a dark romance kind of girly. I do not like Miss Goody Two Shoes kind of romance books or books where there is no spice. I am very much into mafia romance. It is my favorite. I sometimes also read CEO romance. That being said, this year's goal was to read 52 books as every year, one book per week, but I couldn't read. Okay, I was reading on Wattpad and I have lost count on Wattpad books, but around June, end of June, I actually just randomly thought that I want to read more books and I want to read books from different genres. So I downloaded the Kindle app and I took up the subscription for Kindle Unlimited. Kindle Unlimited is basically a subscription based program where every month you pay a amount and you get books, and when they say Kindle Unlimited, it is truly unlimited. You get 20 books in your library to download, so you can read them offline, but after you're done reading you can return those books and you can download n number of books, like literally unlimited. So far I have been reading one book every single day for the month of June, July and August. In September I had a little reading slump because when I started, like I told you, I like mafia romance and sometimes CEO romance, but this month I started diverting to other stories, like other genres, and that is not something that interested me as much as I would like. And some books that I read were really very heavy for me to process. So after reading one book, just a second. So after reading one book, I literally had to process it for 5 days. It was so emotionally heavy. So for this month I'm gonna read 11 books, plus I'm going to reread the books that I have already read on Kindle Unlimited so that I can make reading vlogs for you. So in all, in 2023 I want to read 120 books because the goal was 52 books, which I have already surpassed in just 2 months because I was reading one book per day. So this month's TBR, let's dive into it. So the first series, I am a series binger, guys. I love reading series because when you start reading or watching shows, when it is a series, you get to experience the entire world that the author or the writer has created, and you get more and more of it. So I love spending days in their world. That being said, the first series for this month is the Miles High Club. It is basically a CEO romance or a billionaire romance kind of book. There are 4 books and the stories are around the life of Miles brothers. So their surname is Miles and it is not the Mile High Club by Liz Stomford. If I'm not sure about the author, but there is another series called Mile High Club. It is not that. This is Miles High Club by T.L. Swan, and the first book in this series is The Stopover. So I want to read the gist because I've written a blurb so that you guys get an idea. So The Stopover is about Emily and Jameson. So basically Emily was upgraded to a first class on a flight from London to New York, and her seat is besides a blue-eyed guy named Jim, and they literally hit it off after some time. and but due to bad weather their flight is diverted to Boston, where they spend a night together, like almost a evening and a night together. They dance and they have a crazy night of passion. That's what the blurb reads. And 12 months later, after that they don't meet. 12 months later she starts her dream job, okay, and guess who her CEO or her boss is. So this is the entire story. This book has a few dark aspects, but it is not as dark as the books that I have read in past. But still, please go ahead and read the trigger warnings. Oh god, it is so dark. The second book is The Takeover, and it is about Tristan and Claire. So Claire is a widowed single mom to 3 boys, and I think 2 or 3 years back her husband passed away in a road accident, and she is trying to hold her fortress, like the company of her husband. But Tristan here from Miles group is the takeover, what do we call it? He's the in charge of takeovers, and he meets Claire to take over her husband's company, now her company. So that is where they meet, and then they have a verbal spat, and 6 months later they again meet, where he is the guest speaker and she is attending a conference, in France. And oh my god, it has been such a ride. Like, with kids, this book is amazing. It is a spicy book, okay. Both the books, like the entire series, has some spice in it. Next, the third one is the Casanova. So the Casanova is about Elliot, and he's the third brother, and Kate, and it is set up in London. So the first 2 books are set up in New York, the third one is set up in London. So they Kate and Elliot hate each other, and it is not the kind of hate where they are secretly loving each other. No, it is like literal hate. They hate each other, they cannot stand each other, and there is a lot of sarcasm involved from Kate's side and sometimes also from Elliot's side. Okay, so she's the head of IT and she's a very intelligent woman. She's one of my favorite characters from this series. Then okay, where was I? Elliot is into art collection, and he has been collecting paintings from this particular artist, and turns out that she is in her old age, and as whenever he's searching for her, almost she's like almost in reach of him, but then she slips away from his hand, and the cycle goes on and on and on. And then, disgusted by her dating life, one fine wasted night, she and her roommates sign her up for a dating app. And then earlier she is like, meh, I don't want to do this, but then that night she updates her profile, and then she starts talking with a guy called Edgar. But he's so different than what her personality is, and he lives on the other side of the world. And there are just so many layers in this book. There is another tangent of family drama involved. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, this video is turning out to be such a shitty one because of the lighting. Okay, focus, camera focus. Okay, so the 4th book in this series is The Do-Over, where the youngest brother, Christopher, goes on a backpacking trip because he doesn't know what he wants from life. And the next thing is, there is a girl called Hayden. She is also backpacking through Europe, and they meet. And our guy Christopher is a playboy kind of vibe, like he gives a playboy kind of vibe, and she is not here for the playboys. So that is the entire journey. And this also has a child kind of involvement, I think, at the later stages of the book. So if you don't like the children trope, don't read. But they are not their children, okay. The children involved are not shared between them. There is, I think, some adoption kind of thing involved. Then the 5th book that I'm reading is for this month is Still Beating. Oh my god, this book was so different, and it took me 5 to 6 days to recover from this book because it is so emotionally heavy. So Still Beating is by Jennifer Hartman, and it is a story of Cora and Dean. Cora is an English teacher in her late 20s, and Dean is in his early 30s, and he does some kind of construction job. And Dean is engaged. He's the fiance of Cora's elder sister, Mandy. And Mandy and Dean's wedding is in just 1 month, and 1 month before they're celebrating Mandy's birthday in a bar at night, the 3 of them, Cora, Mandy and Dean. Then Cora and Cora decides to stay back. Dean and Mandy go home, but while around 2 p.m. when Mandy, sorry, not Mandy, why am I confusing? Around 2 p.m. when Cora wants to go home, she finds out that her wallet has been stolen. So out of no choice, she has to call someone to pick her up. So she calls her sister Mandy. She doesn't pick up because she's wasted from all the drinks they had. Then she calls her best friend Lily, I think, yeah, and then no one picks up, so she finally has to call the one person who she hates. And when I say hate, she literally hates him. So Dean is someone who is a prankster and who has been causing trouble for Cora for a while now, and finally she decides to call him because at 2 a.m. in the night on street, what is she supposed to do? So she calls, and surprisingly Dean picks up. Oh my god, there's a storm outside. Okay, so at 2 a.m. what will she do? So she eventually calls Dean. Dean picks up the call, and he agrees to come. But on their way home, they both get abducted and they are chained in a basement, and they go through shit, like literal shit, for 3 weeks. So this book is written in 3 parts. It is one single book, but it is divided in 3 parts. The first part is entirely in Cora's point of view, and her name is Cora Bell. Everyone calls her Cora. And in the book, the first part is all about their abduction and everything that they go through while in that madman's basement. The second part is in Dean's point of view, and it is about after they get out and what the life has been. And the third part is about Cora, like it is in her point of view and her healing journey. I want to tell you guys one thing: please read trigger warnings. This is a emotionally heavy book. There are n number of triggers in this book, and I do not want you guys to be scarred for life than you already are. Please read the trigger warnings. And if you are a light-hearted person or soft-hearted person who cannot gut triggers or heavy topics like sexual assault and healing or something like that, do not read this book. It took me almost 5 to 6 days to start reading another book, or to be in a headset to read someone else's story. So the next 6 books are a series, and they are the Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark. I have not read the blurb from these books, and I didn't want to read with you guys also because I wanted it to be surprised, because I've read almost 60 mafia romances, dark mafia romances, so I know what kind of stories there are possible. Oh my god, why am I so white now? Okay, I didn't want to read much about the books, like what the stories are about, because I've read a lot of books and I didn't want to give away the surprise. So I'm not going to give away the story aspect because I want it to be surprise. So I will read the titles for you guys. But so there are 6 books. The first one is called Brutal Prince, and second one is called Stolen Heir, third one is Savage Lover, fourth one is Bloody Heart, fifth one is Broken Vow, and sixth one is Heavy Cloud. So I have read a lot of YouTubers talk or rave about 2 books from this series. The first one, Brutal Prince, and also the fifth one, Broken Vow. The Broken Vow is one of the books that has 5-star read, so I am expecting it to be very good. And I think it is a cowboy romance. You can see on screen somewhere. I will be posting the covers. So that is all I know from what I have heard online, and these are the 11 books that I am going to read this month. And like I said, I will also be rereading some of the books, like the 60-70 books that I have read this year. I will be reading them in vlogs with you guys, so that I can tell you guys. I will not be giving spoilers. If there are spoilers, it will be mentioned somewhere, so that you guys also experience books that are truly magical, or truly they transport you to another world, and I love living in their world more than ours. That being said, that is all for this video. Do let me know in the comments below which books are there on your September TBR, or if any of these books mentioned are in your TBR in the comments below. I will see you in my next video, which is going to be about a book haul. You can see there are more than 40 books that I have purchased in less than 1 month, because now I have finally decided to read paperbacks. I will see you in my next video. Until next time, stay flawsome.